nhớ rồi trồng cái này cha bây giờ cha đời một lúc chiến tàu tàu đặc lần chi này nhớ rồi nó nọ thì lúc trước nó cũng tôi cho trong đời anh nó lúc trong Singapore, Minneosta, America thế rồi nó ở yon đời Singapore, police lúc hết có đời là không cần lo nhớ trong đời nó để nó lúc nó cũng tôi trong đời nó giờ đặcตัว cover เลยตัวไทยด้วยtrong đời เลยcho mong giờตัวmột tờ trả nhớ trong lúc nó trong đời cho khó và lấy cho tôi chẳng sử nhớ trong lúc trong Singapore mua tụ tin giờ về trong tàu nhớ trong lúc ở hiện tôi vẫn thi cổ ý ở phần ngọc bê nó nhớ trong họ lúc trong Singapore giờ lên nữa lúc trước nó mua là giá tỏn thế bây giờ mong giá tỏ tôi cho trong đời nó giờ tờ trả là giờ tiền bắt khoan nó thẹt cho lúc trước nó mua là giá tỏn thế ít tiền nó giờ lên nữa lúc trước nó tuần gì mua là giá tỏn thế thôi chờ này cho đợi cho cổ bê cho đợi một sai cho trong tờ cho cái tờ trả nhớ trong lúc nó là tờ trồng mong cho đời sẽ giờ trong một ly trà mua rồi một ly trà chứ hẹn một ly trà chứ rong một ly trà nữa nhớ trong lúc nó nữa giờ lên đỡ chơi này cho đợi đầu cũng bên một sai to.
Okay, huddle in, keep coming. Try not to block the medias. They want to capture what's going on. Put up your sign as high as possible. For those in the back, put up your sign high in the sky. Thank you so much.
And they took the life of a 65-year-old man. Somebody say that ain't right. Somebody say that ain't right. That ain't right. That ain't right. He lived his whole life to live up to that moment. And now it's incumbent upon everybody here to carry his story. That's right. Carry Xiong's story. It's incumbent upon us because the people that we pay for in elected official seats, some of them won't. The people that we pay to hold guns and police our community, they won't.
If you get thirsty, please feel free to come grab bottled water. Okay, so.
Yeah. So we got waters, donuts, cookies, everything's over here. Help yourself to those. And the next guest speaker I'm going to introduce to you is Senator Phong He. Give it a hand to Senator.
We're going to continue to do more of this until justice is served for the Xiong family. Not only that, for Xyooj family, for Jason Yang family, for Bruce Tang Tao, going back to the 90s, where police brutality is not resolved. That's right. Thank you all for being here. I'm going to speak in threefold. I'm going to speak in English first, and I will transfer to Hmong, and then I have to read a letter from our map caucus, our Minnesota Pacific Islander caucus, formed by 10 of us as a state legislator. And I have fellow Senator here with me too, Senator Rabina. Are you still here? Okay, but she was here. Also, I want to acknowledge Councilwoman Nelsie Yang and also County Commissioner Mai Chong Xiong that are here with us. And I just want to note for the record that in 2021, I will spearhead an amendment to make sure that they ban warrior training in the police department. To make sure that police are trained in regard to mental health. That was passed into law. But police department has no regard to that. They broke the law that we passed. And I'm upset as well. I'm going to continue to work in the legislature. We're supposed to give the police some funding, but we're going to hold that back this year. Until we tighten our law, tighten our police reform legislature. That I guarantee you. So thank you for being here. And don't give up. This is just the beginning. A smaller crowd. People might look as Hmong people as hobbit of the shower. But we bow to no king. And we're going to fight. And I'm going to transfer to Hmong people, to my native language Hmong. O chọn tao cái bên xong lên từ tổ. Tổ chơi. Về cho sảnh trong là về từ nhật chí, nhật trong. Thì cũng chúng ta tụ sát hay các tụ nụ, tao cho biết chơi lại. Kinh lãng như mong tôi lúc trước giáo đó là, tôi讲了都考了，แต่bây giờ xin lưu xin ban tôi nhà tận đây. Ai chaเขาnó, ôi họ bảo thà,แต่chỉ需要做一节tôn hình sư. 被主导去帮，至少加大一节的帮，做对方莫对美的帮助老师， 他可能被警察去帮这样的嘞，他我对面就叫成立，不要到小鲁班，我对面就叫成炮了，不要到小鲁班回班一半。这样了，可能这些好可别当到有病。我下路上的要个知道多，我说我不起，只用苦不做留下，就要弄了别要知道做，就要做考，哎，个别去做考，我们给人家做也像这样，但那个考搞用做类做度，还别要到智库给政府的当官，哎，我转到这边叫路喏，哎，他我们给人家做别从类做度呢 ，and God bless you all. I want to transition to as I'm one of the 10 members of the MAP Caucus. MAP Caucus is combination of myself, represent Ethan Cha, represent Oli Bang, represent Fuli, represent Leslie, our co-vice chair, Senator Susan Pa, represent Samantha, represent Samantha Sensamora, represent Samantha Bang, represent Jay Xiong, and Tu Xiong, and we all put out this release in solidarity with you all, and it's in our heart hurts as we mourn the loss of community member Yias Xiong. We stand in solidarity with his family and community as they grieve this life taken by St. Paul law enforcement. Yias Xiong was a community elder, and he should have been treated with respect and dignity in his time of crisis. Yias Xiong was a veteran and refugee who should not have escaped violence in his home country only to die in the violence here. We, the MAP Caucus, refuse to participate in the racist structures given to us. We are unwavering in our unity with black people and the movement of Black life. We also acknowledge the very real fact that the Asian community, and specifically the Hmong community, have historically experienced disproportionate and targeted violence at the hands of police. We must stand together to defeat systemic racism and institution violence. The MAP Caucus calls on all legislators to work in solidarity and with urgency on making transformational changes to policing and laws that will focus ending police violence against community members and creating justice systems that work for all, including people of color living with disability. So thank you all for being here. You know, again, 台湾政府各盟准备送一次度，应中央团队被拱杀，我真的。
总之，总嗰啲咧就係望，做落佢又係龍芒講出啦，就到到你又幫望又齊我拍賺錢啦，仲先你做人做到得幾麼事啊？ลูกน้องหายตัวไปจ่องมองเสดอเดียมียอเจ้าหน้าที่ตำรวจตัวไปถูกมองจิมัวกินยันยังไปเสดอปอนึกจิมัวลูกชิหายก็ไปละมูชิขากานึกยจู่ชอบตัวเกี่ยตรงนี้เนาะตำรวจเจียตัวเดินไปจ่อเต้เหม่งตำรวจตัวไปจ่อเต้หนังสือยาลินเดอหายตัวไปจ่องมองเสดอ你叫多的那要趁身上被总梦说的做事啊，被去差到这头还点路 investigate 了要的说的好对要好对只要被嘛多啊，个地呢讲梦，被有主多到家里打行了，要被母说到集中领导，这才多的，被母多等不到了是，把几道被总梦说的。也兄要一度孤独着，你对我你做些，刚才就我对草飞的多那干就用，要不你家多做中间那也讲多点的，佢哋你家也冇其他派到俾做梦出到，咁樣打翻打機，係到呢出到啲當地咯，所以要做到大多啲，要睇家要做到大多，俾多係俾路大路上。被弄本事，还长得被靠 power， 被靠อำนาจ的被叫被什么？ nên chỉ thon to cả nhà nó trong mặt hạt nó tư kia ta là phía mà tua chỉ do ta chỉ nó trong mặt hạt chẳng cũng đó bây giờ đều tụt tỏi qua chỉ nên luôn mấy mỏ tôi mua tỏi cả tôi kiến chân chơi nhất rồi cho nên tin tạm luôn luôn chơi trong đi nó tua quần nó bây giờ nó tiền tua black white Asian Filipino tôi chỉ mua cái ý dạng không giờ lên đó bên chủ tôi tỏi trả tan cho lấy tôi nó bên tỏi trả bên phụ mua xe bên yêu chủ mua xe cho tôi cho tỏi chế cho đời yêu chủ cho làm về bên sản tua cho bên cho đời tỏi trả cho cái nhân dân cả bao system of policy need to change the system get better right now and the system is too bad and too poor for the police giờ lên đó hai tôi bên chọn mong cho đời tua cho họ nó bên giờ mua xe chập lại tỏi trả cả bên tỏi xe cả đây rồi tôi đây của tôi
or any group. I'm just a person. Everybody up here, we are all just people. Everyone here in the audience, we are all just people. But when people come together as a community, and we need to understand that our community is under attack. Race plays such a big part in this. Racism plays such a big part in this. But specifically, white supremacy plays such a big part in this that we can have 2 officers of color. We can have 2 officers of color come in and display an act of white supremacy.
That's right. Yeah.
The white supremacist mindset is so ingrained into the institution of policing in this country that whiteness does not need to be around for it to continue to kill black, brown, indigenous, native, and Asian people in this country. That's why when I say when our community is under attack, what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? And the city, the state, the government, they're going to tell you that they're going to continue to reform and find new ways to reform that system. But like Tucson said, there were 2 officers of color. 2 officers of color that came in the situation. An elderly man, a war veteran, who was disabled, who was having a mental health crisis. They came in guns ablaze, not to give him help, not to protect and serve him, but to kill him. That's all they did. That's all this institution is meant to do. They're going to tell you that they're going to try to reform it and reform it and reform it. There is no reform that can keep me safe. There is no reform that can keep you safe, because when you are 65 years old, having lived your entire life, potentially having a bad day, potentially having some issues that you need help, these people, this system is not going to help you. This system is not going to help you. That's why we, as people, as community, need to continue to help each other. Need to continue to uplift each other. Need to continue to stand in solidarity with one another. Because it is us versus them. They will never be on your side. The only people on your side are the people standing with you right now.
That's true.
So we need to continue standing together in solidarity. Because like I said, we are all people. That's all we are. And all we want is to be able to live, to exist, to love, to live our lives without fear of being murdered, without fear of being killed by the state, without fear of being killed by anybody. All we can do is be people. But where there are people, there is power. Every single one of you has the power to make a change. Every single one of you has the power to make this world a better place. So when your children and your grandchildren and when your great-grandchildren are 65 years old having a bad day, the police don't come in and execute them. That's right! When I say where there's people, you say there's power. Where there's people, there's power. Where there's people, there's power. Where there's people, there's power. And all we can do is use that power, and I thank each and every one of you for using that power today. And as we always say, all power to the people. Thank you.
Thank you.
We know that it was the Philando Castile and George Floyd, and then we even have some Hmong families who have also been stolen before the footage to show up in solidarity. And I will say this probably every single time that we join together as a community. I will continue to say that no matter what we look like, no matter what we have or don't have, no matter any of those things, that we must show up, and that an injustice done to one of us is an injustice done to all of us. We must believe in our hearts. We must believe in our hearts that an injustice that is done to one human being is an injustice done to all human beings. We cannot back down or be quiet about the injustices that this department and other departments around Minnesota have done to hurt our families. I lost the father of my son, Justin Tigan, at the hands of the St. Paul Police Department. He was brutally beat to death and thrown inside of a trash dumpster August 19, 2009 at the hands of this same police department. Michelle Gross will tell you guys that this police department is even deadlier than the Minneapolis Police Department. St.
Say his name!
Yes, Lord.
Say his name!
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
I want you all to give a huge round of applause for Stoner, because he was the first person who protested right outside the St. Paul Police Central District. He was the very first one.
Thank you.
That means a lot, because I want you to know that it takes just one person to make a difference. And that is exactly why we are all here today, because Snowden sparked that flame. I am Councilmember Nelsie. I represent the east side of St. Paul, and I'm so proud to be a part of a coalition fighting for justice for Yias. And I am so proud to share that not only has my office signed on to support and fight with the community, but also we have Councilmembers Mitra Jalali, who represents this ward right here, and also St. Paul Councilmember Russell Ballinger, who is right here fighting with you all too. I want you to give them a huge shout out. Because it takes courage to fight against the system. It is not easy to do at all. But I look out there at the march today and here, and we had so many elected officials and candidates who stood in solidarity with us. And that means a lot. And I also want to share that for those who have been silent all this time, geez, that hurts. Because this news is not new, right?
Right.
This news is not new at all. And for any elected official out there who chose to be silent, who chose to just turn and pretend that they didn't see our text, see our posts on social media, that they are complicit with the system, that same silence is what killed Yias in the first place. Because there were many officers on the scene who could have intervened. Is that right?
Yes.
There were so many officers on the scene who could have intervened, and not one person chose to do what is right. And that is exactly why we are here, because we're here to fight for justice.
Yes.
We are here to fight for justice.
Yes.
We are here to make sure that no one has to die the way that Yias died, and that no one is dead at the hands of our own police officers. Is that right?
Yes.
What happened was so wrong, so immoral. And it breaks my heart to be here, because so many people have been at these type of protests over and over and over again. But let me make it clear to you all, we will not stop until we get justice.
Yes.
And on behalf of our coalition and Yias family, I want to make it clear what the demands are. Because when we don't get this, we're going to be right back here.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yias family is demanding that St. Paul police officers, Abdi Ramanda here and Nrhiav be fired, arrested, and prosecuted.
Yes. Yes.
And all the other St. Paul police officers on the scene should be held accountable.
Yes.
Yes!
We need all of the body camera footage from the St. Paul police officers who were present at the scene and the transcripts of the dispatch calls and names and descriptions of all of the officers involved.
Yes!
We need an independent investigation of Xiong's murder.
Yes!
And also for State Attorney General Keith Ellison to be named as the lead prosecutor to ensure an unbiased and fair trial for officers Tahir and Tawm.
Yes!
And what we need is a firm deadline for commitment because we don't just want promises, we want results and we want action.
Yes!
We want justice for Xiong.
Yes!
To be able to capture.
So cho你cho chị,我做到呢啲啊，你要路说，你要嘢做给我样，你要嘢做给人样。
No peace, no justice. No peace, no justice. Sorry, no justice,
No peace!
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, the next so the next guest speaker will be a poet from the Black Panther of Minnesota. Now when I say what is his name, we're gonna ramp it up. His name only. Ready? What is his name?
Name! Yias! What's his name? Yias! Say his name! Yias! What's his name? Yias! Say his name! Yias! What's his name? Yias! Say his name! Yias!
More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here!
More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here! More lives, they matter here! Yes, Xiong! Yes, Xiong! Yes, Xiong! Yes, Xiong! Yes, Xiong! Our streets! 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 Our streets!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
Say stand up, fight back!
Stand up, fight back!
Stand up, fight back!
Stand up, fight back!
So that's all you're gonna say. I'm gonna say when our community is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our community is under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
What do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
When our elders are under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back! 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 Stand up, fight back!
Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Shut it down! Persecute the police!
No justice, no peace!
Persecute the police!
No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No justice, no peace! Prosecute the police! No justice,
No peace!
no justice! There you go. Justice! No justice! No justice! No justice! No
justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. Yes, Xiong. Yes, Xiong. Yes, Xiong. Yes, Xiong. Yes, Xiong. More lives they matter here.
More lives they matter here.
Say his name.
Yes, Xiong.
Say his name.
Yes, Xiong.
Say his name.
Yes, Xiong. Yes, Xiong. Say his name. Yes, Xiong. Let him hear it. Yes, Xiong. Say his name. Yes, Xiong. Who they kill? Yes, Xiong. Say his name. Yes, Xiong. Say it louder. Yes, Xiong. Say it prouder. Yes, Xiong. Say his name. 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 Yes, Xiong. Whose streets? Our streets. 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 Whose streets? Our streets.
Oh, give you guys no walk no further. Y'all just stop right there. Sorry, y'all still following the truck.
Thank you. All right, guys. Haita Kukara, say after me. When I say no justice, guy, no peace. No justice. Louder, no peace. No justice. 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 Everybody start slow, okay? So we don't trip in one another. Mama talk it, na better she wa Xiong na better chin do na you see na. There's a lot of ice, a lot of snow, slippery too. Mua snow, mua you know, they call ne what Xiong shy to chin do na be you need to see. What Xiong shy mama na be to Xiong le be mama be Xiong chua she han they zo do ya block tao ta shu na. No peace. Louder guys, no peace. No justice. 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 You got who I didn't do. No peace. No justice. Oh, okay, they want to switch round. No justice. You guys say no peace. No justice. No justice. No peace. No justice. No peace. No justice.
Today, no one should be walking in front of her. Everyone stay behind her. She's our lead. She is giving us the guide on where we go for our march today. So to share, can I get you to work with us on that? Let me hear some noise from you all. Okay, thank you so much, everybody.
All right, everyone. We're going to walk a little bit closer. That's two. Now we got a third one. First I'll say that you got there. Move. Move. Who's on the ground? We're here. We're here. Down. Move. Move. Who's on the ground? We're here. We're here. So shut the shit down. Okay, y'all got that one? Yeah. Okay.
No justice! No peace!
for showing up today on this Sunday afternoon, and thank you for the organizers. I am here on behalf of the family, Yami. She requested that I speak about social justice. I am a professor of social work at St. Catherine University. Our work is social justice. We are directly connected to pursuing social justice for all people of the society. And so and if I don't do that work, then I'm not doing my job. If I'm not here today speaking about this, about social justice on behalf of my community, I am not doing my part as a social work professor. In watching the video, and also I'm not a police, I do not know the job of police officers, but I do know that I need police officers in my life to protect me. But in the video, I did not see social justice for Yias. He did not present a direct threat to police. There was not time given to figure out what Yias needed, and in talking to the family, you know, as a Hmong person, you just you see, but you look jail or a munyon and in the you to more so more than the Shinda Jen Tai had there. Nimo can you share? The young had then you told to King, let more son of by your jail long. A little banner, okay. Little 30 on take a banner, the show gets out of go. Luchi banner. Okay, and so what I just said was that Yias was in a senior housing because he needed help. And in our Hmong community, we don't send our fathers and our grandfathers to go live in a senior housing by themselves. They live with family. They get support from family. And it was obvious that, he needed help, right? He was experiencing a mental health crisis in that moment. And instead of having police officers respond to that mental health crisis, his life was taken. And so the family wanted me to come up here and talk about the importance of social justice, the importance that when members of our own community, we are a collective community where we take care of our own. We don't send our own to go live in a senior housing by themselves. And the fact that he was there meant that he needed help. And the family is angered that he did not get the help that he needed, and instead his life was taken at the hands of police. And so I'm here with the family, and I will continue to stay committed to the family to make sure that we find justice for our family and for our communities. Thank you.
Lỡ tua nào lỡ chỉ tua mua cho kiến chẳng mua lu mua chance cho của tụi mình nô lỡ chỉ li mua của tụi mình nô tua giả li ít chút chia nung nào của tụi mình nô thì ta cho xe chỉ mua của tụi mình nô nung nào của tụi xe cân cầu li của giờ ít tụi nâng bà nạp bên chuaเลยmua của tụi mình nô nhớ là của ít xa thản đó của chỉ mong của tôi nông lời của mà yên chỉ bao năng nhớ của tôi mi nô tua to giờ chỉ mua kiến trang chẳng nếu ít tôi năng chỉ bao lô mày cả lấy yên chỉ mua chen trâu nữa lấy mua nữa tua của chỉ xe cân cầu li của tôi xe hàng hai trâu ít trồng măng sợ được bao hạt tiền cho kế trong này nọ nơi chỉ là ít tu tiền này ít tu này nơi cho xe tu lợ bây giờ chỉ tàu trả cá lò lợ nơi cho xe tu lợ chỉ ta mỗi xin năng tan thọ bây trồng măng nên bao hạt tiền ít tu năng tua chỉ trả cá lò lợ tua ta ít xin năng nó lợ mà nó nói thế tôi thọ tan thọ bé ít trong mình cứ tìm mong tụ lo tụ yêu tụ mua măng mỏ tên là tên trừ tên tu chân thành sản chế tôn thọ bé còn xe còn trừ thọ cho kiến gian gian còn tận đây là cho mua trong này nó ít trong gì lợi còn tận đây là sẽ đây một chủ mua cho cái còn nhà nó mua ăn chỉ là có một cái xí thả xin cả xe thia cho nên là ít trong gì lợi na Olina cho lăng tư mò xe nè sợ đời giống năng gì bao mò xe ti dạng cầu chỉ do hạt địa tụ tạm đua ở thế li mua xí sư bé cho bé sẵn là bé mua xí đi dạng cầu bé yang mua chạy ý giả thia bé yang tụ xe cần cầu bé tụ năng tua rồi chứ bé yang ủa chỉ tàu lý trả rồi na nè bỏ bao hạt địa bé tụ năng tua chứ tua mua là ý xí năng em này ya ủa à chị em này tôi hú này tôi ba na ủa cho nên tôi cho này chỉ ba mua lô thả trong này chỉ thả em này tôi cho cái này chỉ là một tổ kia là tổ chia sẻ mà cũng chỉ cần cầu lên á cũng như chỉ cho nó yo muốn chỉ này là ta khó thế hay là nào tổ này xí na lina xí
justified killings. We cannot tolerate them. Most people don't know, but St. Paul has a rate of killing members of the community that is 3 times higher than Minneapolis. Did you know that? They are the deadliest department in the state and the 19th deadliest in the country. These are murderers. These are murderers. And yet, time and time again, there is no justice. But we're not going to let that happen this time, are we? No! We are not going to let them get away with murdering an elderly man in his home.
Not at all.
We're not tolerating it. This man was in his home where he should have been safe.
Yeah.
Cops come in and 30 seconds later, he's dead. This is unacceptable.
No.
He was not trying to harm the police. He was going into his apartment. The defense against edge weaponry is distance and barriers. The police closed the distance and they kicked away the barrier. And when they did that, they put themselves in peril and then used that to justify murdering an elderly man. This is unacceptable. We will not tolerate it, and we will get justice. We are reinvestigating this case. We are not going to rely on the official investigation, which is always designed to clear the police. It's always designed to
hidden murder, just like the other murders in the community. I will call forward Michelle Gross with Communities United Against Police Brutality. Then we're going to gear up to get ready for our march, and we'll let you know the steps that we're going to take. Thank you, Michelle Gross.
That video is probable cause.
I'm not happy they kill my brother. It's not right. I'm not happy.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Here we go again. If you guys don't know me, I'm Valerie Castile. I'm Philando Castile's mother. Philando was crucified July 6, 2016. He was honest and he told the truth, and it cost him his life. He was asked to present his driver's license, and in the process, in motion, he did relay to the officer that he did have a weapon in the car. And he didn't tell him to stop moving or anything like that. He just shot him. As a matter of fact, he took a better position. He didn't try to hide, and because he had an opportunity outside the car. He could have did something else to prevent murdering my son. He took a better position and stuck the gun in the car and shot my son 5 times, taking his life. I'm here today to stand in solidarity with this family. As a human being, I'm standing here as a human being, and to say that I'm sorry for your loss, unnecessary loss, continued time after time. Our children and our community members are taken unnecessarily. There is something that could have been done. Something else could have been done if they had taken the time. That's the thing, they don't take the time. When they come in our communities, they're not coming to negotiate. They're coming to kill. They are not coming to negotiate. They're not saying, well, let's get on the phone and call his mother. Let's call his sister to see if we can handle this situation differently. They don't do that for us. They come in with guns blazing. They come in with guns blazing and kill our community members. We have to do something together. We cannot win this battle just over here and over here and over here. We got to be right here. Right here, together. Right here, together. In order to make this thing work. In order to have them held accountable, we have to be together to do it. I can't do it by myself, and neither can you. And it hurts my heart that they are so insensitive. So insensitive, they will hunt you down. That man hunted my son for 2 miles before he decided to take his life. He knew what he was going to do when he got out of that car and approached him. Just like they knew what they was going to do when they got to these people's house. They was coming to kill because somebody said there was a weapon involved. He had something. You don't know what it was. Sometimes you got to mind your business. Because when you call them, they ain't coming to solve the problem. They coming to kill. Don't you understand? They coming to kill. They ain't coming to negotiate and try to see what's wrong. It was something wrong. He needed help, but they didn't want to help. That was too much time, too much work. Just like when they shoot our kids in the back, it's too much work to chase them down. So they shoot them in the back. We here today, 2023, and we got to change some things. We got to get people in office that's willing to challenge these status quos. We need challengers. We need commitments. We need people in office that's gonna make the proper changes and not be afraid of what their constituents say or what their neighbors say. Oh, you a nigger lover, or that spit, or that mom. You know, they call us all kind of names in the locker room, but they'll play like they ain't hear it. You a lie. You heard it. But did you go to the chief and say, I don't think he should be on the street today because he ain't feeling well. He talking kind of crazy. I think he need to see somebody. They don't want to do that. They macho men. They macho men. They don't want to make it seem as if they weak. They are weak. They are cowards because they'll shoot you in your back. They'll shoot an elderly man. It's crazy. We have to do something different. If it means firing all their asses and get some new police. If it takes getting rid of all of them from the top to the bottom, that's what we need to fucking do. I'm tired of coming out here saying the same thing, asking for the same thing, and then what they give us is something that's been asked for 50 years ago. This ain't nothing new. Ain't none of this mess new. They just getting brand new. It ain't new. We've been crying and fighting. Martin Luther King lost his life for our rights, and every day you see our rights are being challenged. Y'all better pay attention. Ladies, ladies, you can't get abortion. How somebody gonna tell you what to do with your body? And that's a right. Pay attention, cause they picking at it. A little bit by little bit, they're trying to take our rights. So y'all need to pay attention, and we need to come together as human beings. It ain't nothing about the black man, the white man, the red man. We all human. We all bleed red. And I bet you any one of their asses, if one of their kids need a kidney, they'll take that black kidney. I bet you that. So we gonna stick together, we gonna stand together, we gonna keep on protesting, we gonna go in places that they don't want us to be in. Yes, we are. Thank you.
Everyone, we're getting ready to gear up to get ready to get going on the march. But before we do, I want to have one speaker that is very vital to
and helping our families in this movement. And that we will now call forward the mother of Philando Castile, Valerie Castile. Thank you.
我那我要的了，要了嘛，还有我们那的不见人梦，我找到这所有所都，要那家只被省市的，把你这边人那没有，现在到底那种来，要被多多的这件事些，这件事些要还点，来多也像，要被多能多家多给多地多不多样。แต่เมื่อตัวจอบปัจเจอย่าตุเชียเจลิมาเป็นเสด็จเชียนจีเป็นเสด็จเชียเป็นที่ตัวลงเดินนอจะจีตัวในนึงตัวลงตัวลงเบเราถ้าตัวเชียมาเป็นตัวลงตั้งเองจีเชียเลยเจเป็นเสด็จยิ่งโยเชียเจยิ่งปอดในจีชัวละตัวจีตลอดเลยตัวลงเตยย้อนลงหายตัวเสด็จจอตัวเลยเราลงเชียตัวนี้เสด็จตัวเจ้าละเทียตัวเราเป็นมอเชียย้อนย้อนต่อว่าต่อเกตัวจิตต่อไล่เราย้อนลงหรือเนี่ยเราจะคัดตัวเทียเป็นตัวเส้นเจอซึ่งchỉเส้นจงเจียได้จะย้อนได้ตัวจิตต่อเราย้อนลงหาเดียหาฟ้าเนี่ยฟ้าเจียตัวเทียเตะเก็บไปอยู่ปั๊บทอนในนามูเตะไปในปอดรอเด้อวันนี้นายิ่งที่จะเกิดตัวคนที่เราลีอย่าอยู่ต่อจะไปหลวอย่าต่อจะไปอยู่ว่าต่อตลาดเราเทซื้อยิ่งที่เขาจะต่อต่อเกี่ยวกับที่เราลีเทียอย่าลีกับที่เราคนเนี่ยซื้อขอเจอเป็นสิ่งพวกคือเรื่องรอบในโยเรื่องตื่นหอตรงนี้เตาดังหลับเป็นทอกับนี่เฉลยตรงนี้ตรงเป็นต้นมอเป็นเฉลยส่วนเรื่องส่วนตัวมอเชียเป็นต้นเชียสักกี่ยันอย่างตัวเยี่ยช่องอย่าเป็นเชียตัวสักกี่ยันอย่างตัวเยี่ยช่องจีเป็นเชียตัวสักกี่ยันอย่างตัวเป็นมุ่งเฉลยเตี้ยส่วนส่วนตัวเชียหายตรงนั้นคือตัวที่นั่งซื้อเดี๋ยวตัวสักกี่ยันอย่างเกาหลีเทียยอลินดาจอจะตัวละทอหรือโรเนปอเป้เขาเตะสอต้องจัวเราจะเตะทีวีเตะยูทูบเราจะได้หาตัวเทียไอ้ยอลิดาเป้ยังจอจิตาจิเกิดตัวเฟซบุ๊กเทียแต่สิ่งที่กูยังมุจิได้เทียวิกูจะพูดยืนของเฟซบุ๊กเรากูจิตดาวก็จะกูจิตดาวเตะอย่าเล็บไปถึงว่าจะนุ่งสมดาวจะในแต่ยูทูบจะตัวไทยโดนมาจะเจ้าลังนี่นาเขาจะมุเชียนสิเตนมาไอ้ลืมเนี่ยเราจะได้ตะขาตัวเพียตะขาสู้จบพระนักกับมัวเชิดใจเชิดเจ้ามัวปองยจุมัวลุ่นจีมัวปียจุมัวสาวไอ้จียาเตะไปหล่าตัวหล่าตัวตีนาคือลีนาไม่ยอกับมัวปองมันจีกับมัวสะใจเราไปเชิดเต้าไอ้ก็ตามด้วยเราจุดต่อพอเราสะใจแค่ก็แค่กูไม่ได้จิตโตหรือเรื่องหรือตูตามด้วยเราตัวปอเจริญนะไอ้อวดโจน้องนั่นในตัวไปเชิดตัวตีน้อยนาอย่าไปตัวเราอีสักกี่จงไปที่ตัวตีนาขอนอชักไปแต่นอย่าเราตัวใหญ่ช่างไอ้ยาลีขัดแต่จุดนอชักขัดไปตัวตีนาเราเทียนนั่นเลยอวดได้เชิดโจไอ้กูอย่าสนดอนเฮ